Yo, what's good? What's good? I'm back. Triple P Paul Pickett podcast. You know how I do. Before we get started, hit that click now, subscribe button. Anybody on TikTok, please hit that follow if you ain't following me. Don't forget the audio version. My podcast goes to Spotify, Apple, Amazon, Deezer, TuneIn, Slacker, iHeartRadio, and a dozen other platforms. You can Google Paul Pickett podcast. Yeah, this one we're gonna get into the NBA Finals game one, and then I'm gonna give my take on the Maria Taylor versus Rachel Nichols since everybody is talking about it, and I've seen a lot of takes about it. First game one in NBA Finals. Giannis played. He had 20 points, 17 rebounds. I think it was more of a filler game too, and plus the Bucks had no answer. I mean, the Suns. Yeah, the Bucks had no answer for the Suns pick and roll. Because this is the thing about the Suns. The Suns aren't one of those teams that you live by the three, you die by the three. The Suns will just pick and roll you all day and shoot the high percentage mid range. And now, good thing about Milwaukee is Milwaukee won a lot of their series by scoring inside, high percentage shots. So Milwaukee has to do the same thing as the Suns do. Take the high quality shots, just dominate inside, the dunks, the layups, the easy mid range jumpers. But they got to figure out the Suns pick and roll. They got to figure it out, man. Because this is going to be a series of defense. Like Coach Bud is going to have to make adjustment. They're going to have to figure out that pick and roll. They're going to have to basically do high percentage shots too. Like, the Bucks can't just start shooting up threes, go 3 for 2, 3 for 2, 3 for 2, just because the Suns are taking twos, You got to go 2 for 2, and you got to just lock down on defense. Based on game one, I can't really tell who I feel like is going to win this series. Because if the Bucks win next game, you're going to see me on the podcast probably saying the Bucks are probably going to win this series. Because typically, when a team wins a game on the road, they typically can win this series, and a lot of times they do, and the home court advantage is swayed their way. So yeah, game one. I mean, Chris Paul did his thing. Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton. They had like 74 points combined, which is straight. You know what I'm saying? Your big three putting up 75 a night. That looks good. You got a chance to win. You just got to make sure all your role players, step up and do their things. Cameron Paynes, the Cam Johnsons, and the Bridges of the world, Cal Bridges. So yeah, and I forgot the 3-and-D guy you got in Jay Crowder, which played on the Heat last year, who was in the NBA Finals with the Heat last year. Now he's in the NBA Finals with the Suns, And Danny Green just did that like not too long ago when he was in the NBA Finals with the Raptors. Then he was in the NBA Finals with the Lakers. And damn near was close to being in the NBA Finals with the Sixers this year. So yeah. Can't really tell what's going to happen on this. Surprised Giannis came back. He said he didn't feel no pain. What really is going to be the telltale is after that game. Like, if it swells up after the game, how it feels after that game is going to be the telltale going forward for Giannis. You know what I'm saying? But the Bucks should feel good. The Suns should feel good. And this is going to be a good series, man. You're going to have a team like the Bucks. Last time the Bucks won was 48 years ago. So I was 6 years before I was born. The Suns have never won. The Suns have never won. So this is good for basketball. It's usually small market teams don't win like this. They don't win like this. And if you think about it, what I always say about small market teams, they have to build the core. At least two of their three players, their top three players have to be drafted. DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker, drafted. Chris Middleton and Giannis were drafted, and then you could trade in for your other pieces. You know what I'm saying? But two of your top three gotta be drafted. You know what I'm saying? When you're in small market teams, because small market teams don't get like big free agents. They didn't get Chris Paul in a free agency thing. They got him in a sign and trade. You know, they didn't. The Bucks didn't get Drew Holiday in free agency. They got him in a trade deal. You know, because free agents just don't go to small markets when they get bigger money in bigger markets and they get more notoriety. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is, man. So both of these teams drafted when you think about it, they drafted their two studs. You know what I'm saying? Because, you brought in Chris Paul as the leader, but DeAndre Ayton and Devin Booker is the future of the Suns. That's the future of the Suns the next 10 years. You know, just like the Middleton and Giannis is the Bucks' future for the next 5 years, probably. And if Giannis wins this year, Giannis ain't leaving the Bucks no time soon. And I don't think Giannis leaves anyways, just the Bucks now that he's in the finals. Even if they lose, I don't see Giannis leaving because he's gotten there. He's gotten so close. He knows he can get right back there. You know what I'm saying? He knows they even if they lose this year, he knows it's just like one step away. You know what I'm saying? One step away. And it might just be something that he needs to improve on. You know? All right, so enough of the NBA Finals Game 1. If you're watching me on TikTok Live, I want to say thank you. If you ain't following, hit that follow. Also, if you're on YouTube, hit that click now, subscribe button in the right-hand corner. Let me get a sip of my Coca-Cola. And don't forget the audio version of this podcast. You can Google it. Goes to Spotify, Apple, and dozen other platforms as well. And the video version goes to Instagram and Facebook and YouTube. Rachel Nichols versus Maria Taylor's. I ain't really sympathizing with neither one of them, to be honest with you. I'm not sympathizing with neither one of them. Because I got a few different takes on this. Like I saw Anthony Brian Logan's take on it, and I agree with him to an extent. I think Maria Taylor is more attractive than Rachel Nichols, and Rachel Nichols is pretty annoying to me. I don't really like Rachel Nichols. She really gets annoying to me the way she tries to get super woke, and it backfired on her. You know, like, that's what happens when you go woke. You what, woke won't eat woke? You think woke won't eat woke? So you think woke won't eat woke? Do alligators eat other alligators? Yeah, they will. Big alligator, small alligator? Yeah, it will. Woke eats woke. That's what's happening here. Woke eats woke. I don't feel any sympathy for Rachel Nichols, because this is what happens when you go woke. You know, even the woke turns on you, you know. If you ain't woke enough, or you ain't woke exactly as they want to be, you know. So there's that. Rachel Nichols is annoying to me. I've never really liked her. I mean, I ain't saying she's not attractive, because I do like redheads, but her annoyingness makes her less attractive to me. Now, Maria Taylor is very attractive woman. I find Maria Taylor very attractive. And do I like her better as a host and stuff? I do. I don't really think she's that annoying, and I didn't really follow her on the wokeness, you know. But so do I? I guess by saying that Maria Taylor is more attractive and she's less annoying to me, I don't have a problem with her doing the NBA Finals over Rachel Nichols in that aspect. But if it's a Rachel Nichols contract, what are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? If it's in her contract, it's in her contract. So if we call businesses violating an employee's contract equality, that is the exact opposite of equality. Exact opposite. It's in her contract to have that job. And a contract is supposed to be some binding thing, because the reason people have contracts is because, people can't be a man or a woman of their words. That's the problem. That's why we need contracts in society, because people can't just be a man of their words or a woman of their words. You can't trust people. You got to have a contract. And apparently you can't even trust people when you have a contract. So, all due respect, Rachel Nichols did get screwed. And I never really cussed on this podcast like this. She got fucked over. She got screwed over and fucked over because it was in her contract. You know what I'm saying? So she has the right to be upset that she got screwed over and fucked over. Anybody has the right to be upset. You know what I'm saying? When they get screwed over and fucked over. Okay, so there's that. She got screwed over, got fucked over because it's in her contract. At the same time, she is super woke. They did have the BLM all over the floor. And, my opinion on the BLM movement is, I'm not saying that Black lives don't matter. I'm just saying the organization is a sham. The organization really cares about only LGBT community lives, and it doesn't include Black men whatsoever. So like the Black Lives Matter movement they don't include Black men whatsoever. It's a movement for women, really, is what it is. It's a feminist movement, LGBT community movement. They'll accept Black women into the movement as long as they meet certain criteria. It's not a movement. It's not a Black civil rights movement. It's not. And the LGBT community struggles and their fight is nowhere near as bad as what African Americans went through with that slavery of their ancestors and the Jim Crow days and any kind of racial oppression they've dealt with. You know what I'm saying? As far as keeping them back in the workplace or educationally or anything financially in society. It's not the same. It's not the same war. It's not the same fight. It's two different fights. So there's that. And me personally, if I was a reporter, I wouldn't even want to be reporting the NBA finals with the BLM organization logo everywhere and stuff like that. Do I believe Black Lives Matter? Yeah, but the organization, do I get behind the organization? No, because the organization, like I said, it's not about Black lives. It's not a Black civil war, like a civil rights movement. It's not a Black civil rights movement. So there's that. But then you got, if Maria Taylor says, okay, she said that she would never leak the audio of Rachel Nichols. Now, they knew about it though already. I know people have known about this for a while. All right, so it was known. Now, whether she leaked it personally or even if somebody in her camp leaked it, it's still, she's guilty by association. And it's borderline blackmail. And it's the exact opposite. If you leak the audio to try to get a bigger contract out of ESPN, and all due respect, she's trying to get Stephen A. Smith money. Stop it! Stop it, Maria Taylor. You ain't no Stephen A. Smith. There ain't no other dude. There's no woman or dude doing sports that's Stephen A. Smith. Like, nobody. Come on, man. Stephen A. Smith, Bricks, General Hospital, Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A. Smith, I mean, the loudest voice in the room every time. Stephen A. Smith, stop it. This idea, see, that's that WNBA should get paid as much as the NBA mentality. When y'all don't generate it, if you're not as generating as much money and revenue and eyeballs as Stephen A. Smith, but you think you should get paid for him. I just had this talk in my vlogs. My vlog about why the music industry is like the dope game. I just had this talk, you know what I'm saying? Like, stop it, man. Stop it with this overvaluing. Like, everything in the business world is based on fan base, consumer base. If this guy or this woman has more fans than you and more consumers, they have more value. They bring more to the table. They generate more revenue, which brings, this is the thing that you got to understand when you're on you do like television or you do radio. It's all about who brings in the viewers and the listeners, because the viewers and listeners bring the advertisers. Bring the advertisers. If you don't got viewers and listeners, so this idea that Maria Hill brings in the same amount of advertisers, same amount of listeners, same amount of viewers as Stephen A. Smith is fairy tale, imaginary, bogus, made up, make believe. It doesn't exist. It's not reality. Even Skip Bayless, who I don't like. I don't like Skip Bayless, but guess what? Why are all the athletes sitting there always complaining about what Skip Bayless has to say about him? Because everybody's watching. Everybody's watching. But I can tell you what, all the athletes aren't running to see what Maria Taylor's saying about them. All the athletes ain't running. Let me go see what Maria Taylor had to say about me. Stop it. They're thinking you should be like the same. This is the thing. People don't want equal opportunity. They want equal outcome. And equal opportunity does not lead to equal outcome. It doesn't work that way. Some people are more qualified than others. Some people do the job better than others. Some people are more dedicated at the job better than others. You could do the job better than me, but I might be more dedicated. So if I'm more dedicated, I'm probably going to consistently do my job better. Because just because you do the job good, if you're not dedicated, there's no way you're consistently doing it good all the time without dedication, without applying the same energy all the time. So we need to stop it with that Maria Taylor thinking she should get paid as much as Stephen A. Smith. Stop it. That's bogus. No way should she get paid as much as him. Not yet. Maybe down the line when you're more popular and you got more fans and consumer base coming in to view you. But stop it, man. I ain't never heard no athlete complaining about what Maria Taylor said about, because they care about what Skip Bayless says, Shannon Sharp, Nick Wright, Stephen A. Smith. Stop. I don't even know if they care about Nick Wright says. All due respect to Nick Wright. Not that I don't like Nick Wright, but I don't think they care. I don't think most people care what Rachel Nichols says about him. I think past a certain handful of people, Barkley, they might care what Barkley says about him, or Shaq. But Maria Taylor, nah, stop it, man. And if they leak the video, either she leaked the video or they leaked the video, that's borderline blackmail. That's borderline blackmail. You know what I'm saying? You basically trying to blackmail ESPN to giving you more money because Rachel Nichols got upset because she got fucked over and screwed over out of a job that was in her contract. And she's been doing it a lot longer, a lot more experience. She went through the female inequality part of sports analysts. I mean, we know, like females been fighting to get positions. I mean, we know at one time females couldn't vote. Black men were able to vote before a female was able to vote. Don't forget that. You know what I'm saying? So she understands that, like, if females that want to be successful, they got to compete with men in the workplace. And when they compete and they win those positions, I mean, hell no, you ain't trying to give it up for somebody who's not really competing like you competed. I mean, all due respect, like I said, Maria Taylor is beautiful. I mean, hell yeah, I think she's more gorgeous than Rachel Nichols. Definitely. And I prefer her as a whole. But like, if you leak the video to get leverage, that's not equal opportunity. That's the exact opposite. That's not equality. That's the exact opposite. So don't be out here screaming equality, equal opportunity when you have to try to borderline blackmail people to get more money out of them. That doesn't mean you. That means you don't want equal opportunity, equal equality. You just want equal outcome, which not the same. And most and all the opportunity that I have in life right now, I created for myself. I started my own business. Yes, I evolved into something that I never thought I would evolve into. I started as a musician, and everything I was doing, I got into radio basically so I could play my music anytime I wanted to. I got into booking shows for old school artists so I could open up for them anytime I wanted to. I got into a lot of things to benefit myself as an artist, and as I got into these things, I understood that I could make more money doing these things. I could have more longevity doing these things, and I enjoyed doing these things just as much. So I morphed into online marketing promotions for musicians and brands. I morphed into that. But I created that opportunity for myself. I didn't sit back and wait for somebody to create opportunity for me. I didn't sit back and cry because I didn't have opportunity coming to me or people won't give me opportunity. No, that's the thing. That's an employee mindset. That's an employee way of thinking. People who are self-employed, we're not worried about equality, equal opportunity, and we know it's not even equal. I'm gonna say it once. I'm gonna say it twice and a million times. There's plenty like this idea that we're all equal is bogus. Because we would all, if we were all equal, we would all be the same height, same weight. We would all have the same smarts. Some people are just smarter than others. This idea that everybody could be Elon Musk or Albert Einsteins of the world, or these geniuses. No, they're not geniuses because they read a ton of books. They're geniuses because they're geniuses. This idea that everybody in the NBA can't jump the same height. They're not all equal. They all can't shoot the same. Like, you show me Steph Curry's equal to shooting. He's the greatest of all time. There's nobody equal to him. Vince Carter was jumping to the moon. Like, stop it. You got guys that can't even dunk. Like, we got to stop thinking that we're all equal. That only works when you just talking about like one specific thing. If we're just talking about basketball and we're all trying to get equal, and even equal opportunity it doesn't exist because everybody has to have the same exact qualifications, the same exact ambitions, the same exact qualities. This idea that a person should be able to go into a job interview, and let's say like this idea that a white kid should be able to go in a job interview. I'm gonna throw it this way: a white kid should be able to go to a job interview with his pants sagging, and a black man goes in a suit, and a white kid should get the job first. No, because the black dude's following the typical standards of how you get a job. And I ain't saying you gotta wear a suit and tie, but you gotta dress nice. You don't sag. You don't. You gotta dress nice. You gotta dress decent. You gotta look clean and presentable. You know what I'm saying? There's a thing called standards in the work world, and businesses have different standards. Some have low standards, some have high standards. But when you're in a business that's got high standards, and if everybody's not trying to follow the standards, then there is no equal opportunity, man. Stop it. If everybody's not gonna follow the same rules, there's not no equal opportunity. That's part of equal opportunity. Everybody's got to follow the same rules too. And I can tell you right now, everybody's society that's trying to get equal opportunity, or what they call equal opportunity, doesn't want to follow the same rules as everybody. They want to create new rules. They want to invent new rules. They don't want to follow. And all due respect, I don't believe in mankind's rules one bit. I don't believe in the laws of man and the rules of man. I believe in the laws of nature. But I do know, it's not what I believe, it's what I know. what's fact, that if I break certain rules and certain laws, there is consequences. There's a thing called actions and reactions. If I decide not to follow a rule, that is an action. And there could be a reaction that could be good or bad. And, whatever you agree with the rules or not, you know the consequences. And if you choose to ignore them, that's on you. If I commit a crime and I know the consequences and I go to jail, that's my fault. I know this was, if I go to somebody's house and I break one of their rules and they kick me out, I deserve to get kicked out. I broke the rule. And if I don't want to go in and then call the police and then I get arrested for that, I deserve to get arrested. Because if you come in my house and you break my rules, and I'm going to tell you to get out once, and you don't get out once, I'm going to drag you out. And if that don't work, I'm going to turn you into Swiss cheese. I'm going to the 12 gauge and I'm going to turn you into Swiss cheese. Because anybody who owns something has rules to it. ESPN is owned by people. They have rules. Every business is owned by somebody. It has rules. And if you choose to just violate those rules, then bye-bye. And then I hear people talking about Rachel Nichols should be fired. For what? She hasn't done nothing. She hasn't broke no rules to be fired. She should be fired because somebody legally recorded a private conversation without her consent. I don't know if it's illegally. Let me take that back. I don't know if it's illegally, but they recorded a private conversation without her consent and released it to people. And it's a conversation she's having with somebody about her getting screwed and fucked over. And what she said, she didn't say nothing that was racist or anything of that nature. She didn't say anything that was not true. She didn't say anything that was not fact. And this idea, y'all getting, you know what? Y'all getting in y'all's feelings over facts. That's what I think. Two of them. When you get in your feelings over facts, oh, well, they're the facts. Deal with it. I never cry over facts. Cry over facts, man. What kind of stuff is that? You can't, the facts are the facts. I don't cry over them. They are what they are. You know? Yeah, so this whole Rachel, like, I don't feel sorry for Rachel Nichols. I don't feel sorry for Maria Taylor if she gets any kind of backlash or anything negative happens to her off of this. Because somebody leaked it out there. And you're not going to tell me they didn't leak it out there to give her an advantage to try to get more money out of ESPN, which is borderline blackmail. Blackmail is illegal. Illegal. It's no different than people, getting dirt on a politician and telling a politician, if you don't do me a favor, I'm going to leak this to the public. It's the same thing. You trying to put stuff out there to make somebody look bad to give you an advantage. That is borderline blackmail. But the fact that if she would have actually went to Rachel Nichols and I'm going to release this, if you don't do this, that, it would have been complete blackmail. But the fact that they released it, it wasn't really blackmail, but it's borderline blackmail. The fact that she's using it, I don't care. I do believe this. I don't care what anybody says. The timing is too coincidental and too convenient for it not to be released to try to give her an advantage to get more money out of ESPN. I don't even want to. If anybody says that is not true, that is bullshit. That's a complete horseshit, lie, false narrative. Hell yeah, this was released so she could try to get more money out of ESPN. Did she release it herself? I don't know that for a fact. But if she didn't release it herself, there's somebody that she knows did it in her best interest. And it's borderline blackmail. It's borderline blackmail. Because now you're releasing this to make ESPN look bad so you could try to get more money out of them. That's blackmail. No, matter of fact, that's blackmail. They're trying to blackmail ESPN out of more money. That's not equality or equal opportunity, man. I gotta, let me kick up my foot on this one. Anybody who thinks That leaking that audio to try to get more money out of ESPN is equality or equal opportunity. You're dumber than a bag of bricks. You don't even know what quality or equal opportunity is. You're dumber than a bag of bricks because it's blackmail. So she's trying to, her side is trying to blackmail, and they're trying to blackmail ESPN. They're trying to make Rachel Nichols lose her job and get canceled altogether. Which I mean, I ain't a big Rachel Nichols fan, but I I mean, I got a tad bit of sympathy for the fact that it was in her contract, but once again, she was super woke, and it's almost like, you brought this on yourself because you act like woke won't eat woke. And that's all that's going on. Woke eating woke. And if you're not, that's the problem with being woke. You are, if you're never woke enough for somebody who's woker than you, then they'll turn against you. You're never going to be woke enough. They're always going to turn against you. And once they find something that makes them feel like you're not woke or you're not woke enough, they'll turn against you. But that's my take on it. It's a lot to unravel. Rachel Nichols is, to be honest with you, I mean, if she gets fired because of this, it doesn't look good for ESPN at all. It really doesn't. And ESPN actually screwed her twice. Because she lost her job for this NBA Finals too, which is she was under contract for. So not once but twice. That's the thing. Like, if I work for a company, they screwed me twice, I ain't sticking around for the third time. I ain't waiting for them to fire me either. I'd have been jumped ship if I was Rachel Nichols. You got screwed twice. That should tell you something. The 3 times the charm is coming. But yeah, that's my take on this whole Rachel Nichols versus Maria Taylor. I don't feel sorry for neither one of them. Both of them are woke, and Rachel Nichols. That's what happens when you try to go woke just to try to appease people and appease. You only appease at one side of the fence. I hope you know that. You only appease at one side of the fence. Because only half of America is woke. The other half is not. The other half is living in reality. You know what I'm saying? Black, white, Hispanic, or whatever. The non-wokes, they living in reality. Because, like I said, I mean, we're not all created equal. If you're going off of religion, well, god damn it. That's where you fuck it up right there. Because it's man-made fairy tales, make-believe, bogus stories. Religion is man-made. Nobody knows what created us, who created us, how life started. Nobody knows. We are so detached, so far from that point of history. Nobody knows. They got to a point where they just made up something to just. And religion is a form of control. Catholic Church is a form of control. Constantine mainstreamed Christianity all through Europe and made Europe or Rome become under one religion, which really dictated all of Europe. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much at that point. So it's like it was mainstreamed. Come on, man. It's like a pagan mainstreamed it to stop a war. Like, I know my history. Like, stop it, man. Like, so we can't go off of religion. God created all people equal. And then, like, I'm not 6'9", 265 pounds like LeBron James. I'm not as smart as Elon Musk, and Albert Einstein, but I'm smarter than a lot of people at certain things like marketing and advertising. That's my thing. And that's the only thing that I can search for equality in is marketing advertising. I can look to see if I'm equal with other marketers, advertisers. But this idea that I should be equal to an athlete or a guy who fixes cars or even a computer programmer or a code writer. I don't write code or computer programming. Whether it's any sport, you know what I'm saying? Whether it's a lawyer, a doctor, that I'm not equivalent to them. You know what I'm saying? That they're equivalent to people in their field, and that's it. That's what people got to realize. we we can only search for quality in what we're good at. You can't be asking for equality when you're not good at something or you're not better than somebody at something. It's no. And there's people that can run faster, jump higher, they're smarter than a lot of people. There's only a few geniuses in the world. So the idea that we're all equally smart is horseshit. There's only, you know, so many people in the world that can jump through the roof. So this idea that we're all equally equivalent athletic ability of jumping, it's horseshit. There's like, like this idea that we could all be Usain Bolt. There's equality in everybody to be Usain Bolt. Bogus horseshit. No way. Usain Bolt is superior over me when it comes to running. LeBron James is superior over me when it comes to playing basketball and probably football and every other sport. I even said that LeBron James might be superior to me over marketing. He doesn't even. I don't even know if he technically has a marketing company, but they're pretty smart at branding, which is part of marketing. Branding is marketing, So yeah, man, there's plenty of people that are superior over me, and I don't really necessarily think I'm superior over nobody. I just know that I can do marketing and advertising better than a lot of people. I can do marketing and advertising better than 99% of the people in my own city, and probably more than 90% of the people in my own state. And I probably know more about marketing and promotions when it comes to musicians than 100% of the musicians trying to make it in the music business. But I'm not saying I'm superior or anything of that nature, but they don't equally know the things I know. And that's the thing. We don't all equally know the things we know. We don't all equally do the things we do. So, equality is it's not reality. I hate to say it, equality is not reality. I mean, how many rappers are equal to Jay-Z? When I say Eminem is Jay-Z's equal, hell no. I will put Jay-Z is far superior over Eminem just because of the business mind he has. And he's put out better music, better overall albums. I mean, Jay-Z came from a lot harder. He had to work from a lot harder situation. The odds were against him and more. Like, no, man. Could everybody rap as good as Rakim and Nas? No, stop it. We're not all equal, and that's fine. That's fine. I don't have a problem with that. People being better than me at things. I just have a problem not being good at nothing. That's what I would have a problem at. Not being good at nothing. And this whole, I ain't gonna lie, man, this whole Maria thing, it got me going on ranting about probably a lot of other things. But I think it all relates. I think it all relates because everybody's trying to make, like Rachel Nichols out to be a racist because what she said. And then like Maria Taylor's trying to be made out as this person who wants equality and equal opportunity when that's bullshit, It's really like, both of them both of them are full of shit. Because Rachel Nichols tried to go woke to just try to look good in the front of the camera and not get canceled. And Maria Taylor did the same fucking thing, to be honest with you. You know what I'm saying? And they're both full of shit, to be honest with you. They're both full of shit. So whatever bad happens to either one, as far as I'm concerned, drop them both. Drop them both from ESPN. That's how you fix that problem. That's how you fix that problem. You drop them both. Well, to be honest with you, you just don't got to re-sign Maria Taylor. And Rachel Nichols is probably out the door anyway. She probably wants to leave. You know? And I don't know what Rachel Nichols did. You can't. It's not a firing offense. If ESPN fires her, she could sue the hell out of them. She could sue the hell out of them. Because first of all, the audio was recorded without her knowing, and then it was released without her knowing. You know. So yeah, she could sue them if they fire her over this. Because it's not a fireable offense. It really isn't. I can see if she, because she showed Maria Taylor. She's like, I wish her the well. She's reports this, that, and the third. But what Rachel Nichols said is she's not giving up her fight. Like, she had to fight to get her position, and she's not giving up her positions for somebody who didn't fight for it. Because Maria Taylor's trying to blackmail her way into this whole situation with Stephen A. Smith money. Like, and she's delusional. And she's delusional as hell. Maria Taylor is delusional as hell, thinking she should get paid as much as that's like any WNBA woman thinks she should get paid as much as LeBron James. Stop it! None of y'all was known as much. Y'all are not as famous as LeBron James. You don't generate nowhere near as much revenue outside of basketball, LeBron James. You will never bring as many eyeballs to basketball as LeBron James. LeBron James brings more eyeballs to basketball than all the women combined bring eyeballs to basketball to the WNBA. Stop it. All y'all combined don't have the value of LeBron James. It's not sexist. It's reality. It's called the business world. And value is based on consumer base, eyeballs, viewers, fans. That's why consumer base is the only thing that matters in the business world. I preach it in the music business vlogs all day long. It's the only thing that matters, consumer base. That's all the business world cares about. Consumers. And how do we get more of them? And anything that's causing them to lose consumers, that's got to go. So, yeah. I don't even watch ESPN no more, so they get what they deserve. They get what they deserve. Hit that click now, subscribe button in that right-hand corner. That's my take, man. I probably went I don't got no watch. I probably went like an hour long on this Joker. But we got game 2 of the NBA Finals comes up. I think it's Thursday. It's at Phoenix. And if Phoenix goes up 2-0, I mean, you're supposed to win the home games anyway, so that's typical. But if the Bucks win, then we got an interesting series. And I'm really interested to see what goes on with this Maria Taylor, Rachel Nichols. If I'm ESPN, I don't even re-sign Maria Taylor because of her little blackmail tactics, or whoever put the video out, helping her out with her blackmail tactics. Even if she didn't put out herself, this idea that she didn't know it was going to get put out is horseshit. I don't believe her one bit. The timing is just too coincidental. It doesn't benefit Rachel Nichols' side or ESPN to put out this. It does not benefit Rachel Nichols or ESPN to put this out. So whoever put this out only did it to benefit her, and she knew about it. And even if she didn't know about it, guess what? She's using it. I guarantee she's using it to her advantage, and you're just as guilty if you're using it to your advantage. So stop it. And the fact that she ain't speaking on it, that already does not make her look good as it is right now. The fact that you all hush and silent does not bode well or look good for Maria Taylor right now. So, yeah, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. My name is Paul Pickett. This is Triple P, the Paul Pickett Podcast. This one was a good one, man. This really had me I had to go in on this one, man. You know what I'm saying? I just really thought like both sides are full of shit. Both sides get what they deserve. If it's anything negative comes out of this, you get what you deserve. Because both of them are playing woke when they're not. They're both playing woke and they're not. Maria Taylor ain't no more woke than Rachel Nichols, and Rachel Nichols ain't no more. Because you can't. Don't be screaming woke when you equality and equal opportunity when you trying to blackmail for more money. That's not equal opportunity. That's not equality. Stop it. You know. So they're both hypocrites. They're two hypocrites. You know, trying to just use things hypocritically at their advantage, and I don't like hypocrites, period, whatsoever. So they get what they get, you know, whether it's negative. I mean, I don't wish that negative on them. I'm just saying, if something negative happens, you get what you get, because hypocrites are hypocrites, man. You know, that's that. Don't forget the audio version goes to Spotify, Apple, Deezer, Amazon, TuneIn, Slacker, iHeartRadio. You can Google Paul Pickett Podcast. You see the name behind me. And don't forget to follow me on the social medias, which you see pop up after this screen leaves. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Peace, and I'm out.